Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about SOFI, or as I call it, SoFi. Now for this one here, I'm going to go through due diligence, technical analysis, news, what I think about this one, and if I'm able to get some analyst recommendations, I'll add it to the very end. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So for this one here, what we're looking at is basically a cash management application or company. And in terms of this one, you can really do a bunch of different things. Whether you're investing or anything relating to personalized loans, student loans, private loans, insurance, credit card, home loans. The list of products that are available here are insane, going anywhere from mortgages to law and MBA loans under private student loans to borrowing money to just personal loans in general or home loans or student loans refinancing. You can also invest either in SoFi investing, IPO investing, active investing, crypto, ETF, everything you can think of in this sense. In spending, there is a SoFi credit card, SoFi Money, SoFi Relay. There's also you can protect, whether it's insurance under life, rental, home insurance, auto insurance, estate and planning, etc. And for businesses, you also have SoFi at Work, SoFi Business Financing, and there's also more products. They also have different member benefits, etc. But I'm not going to dive through anything here that you can just easily find by going to their website. So first off, let's go towards their presentation that is the most up-to-date in terms of the summary for Q1 2021. And from there on, we're going to dive through SEC filings, etc. So for the members, currently they have around 2.28 million members in Q1 2021, which is a year-over-year growth of around 110%. And you get to see just from 2019 all the way to Q1 2021, they went from 704,000 members to 2.28 million members. Might not sound a lot, but that is a really good multiplications of or multiples from the 704 to the 2.28. Now, in terms of products itself, so the total products that they have right now, in terms of the general sales, etc., you're looking into 3.18 million in Q1 2021 compared to Q1 2019 in around 782,000. Financial service products, though, has really seen a massive increase around 273% year over year, which is compared to 121% year over year for total products. And you get to see that it's currently at 2.24 million in Q1 2021. Around 2 years ago in 2019, that would be around 107,000. So you get to see the massive increase. Now, in terms of Galileo accounts, which reached 70 million accounts, that's in millions, you're looking into around $70 million. You're looking into, 7 million number, and that is compared to 17 million in 2019. Adjusted net revenue is equal to $216 million again in Q1 2021, and the current variance estimates from Q4 2020, you're looking was the kind of outlook was 190 million to 195 million, and you get to see that the variance to guidance was 26 million to 21 million from low to high, and you get to see that that is amazing that they have beat their estimates as well. So they say here that adjusted EBITDA was $4 million versus the investor guidance of -5 million to 1 million plus, representing a $9 million beat to the low end and 3 million beat to the high end, which is all amazing numbers. In terms of the adjusted net revenue, what you're seeing here is they've been positive for the longest time on the adjusted net revenue, and that's good. You get to see that on Q1 2021, they have met around $216 million. This is the second highest compared to Q3 2020, and it could be just because of a variance in months, etc., of customer behaviors. And they say here that Q1 2021 adjusted net revenue includes negative impact of the $5 million of interest expense on corporate borrowing, primarily related to the Galileo seller notes. The $250 million seller note was repaid in February 2021. And moving on from there, you're able to see as well their quarterly adjusted EBITDA, which was negative last year in Q1 2020. And right now with Q1 2021, you're at $4.13 million. Hopefully it continues to be positive, although the annual adjusted EBITDA so far to date that is positive, and that's amazing because that would be the first year where they give you an annual adjusted EBITDA that is positive. And later on, you get to see that the 2021 guidance is sitting somewhere for adjusted net growth, adjusted net revenue being around $980 million, which would be an amazing increase, but still very much reachable based on their history. And the contribution profits would be somewhere around $266 million, again, very reachable, and adjusted EBITDA to be positive for the first time ever in terms of an annual year at $27 million. So in terms of quarter 2 2021, you're looking at a low of $215 million for the adjusted net revenue to $220 million on the high. So last time they beat this one, so hopefully they will at least meet this one here. Now, later on, they have other informations, etc., but I think we get an idea about their finances, and that's part of the fundamentals. In terms of the latest news, I'm going to read a few and then going to dive back and forth. So, SoFi announces election of Ruzwana Bashir to its board of directors, and this person here, they mentioned that they're thrilled to have him on the board of directors, and they look forward to have him or her as a colleague and the opportunity to continue to help build SoFi together. And they also noted that Ruzwana's experience as a founder and entrepreneur in developing a technology platform to better serve enterprise and consumer will provide valuable insights to SoFi as we execute our strategy. She will be instrumental in helping our board and management deliver on our mission to helping SoFi members achieve financial independence. And then later on from there, SoFi to participate in the Piper Sandler Global Exchange and FinTech Conference. There's actually a webcast link there that you can actually go ahead and watch it. So this already passed, by the way. I'm just saying if you would like to go back and watch things. And later on as well, you're able to see that they were more of a SPAC and they did a merger. They're also having kind of a promotional thing, or actually a PR announcement about getting paid up to 2 days early with SoFi Money. This is relating towards cash management and direct deposit checks. And that's kind of 2 days earlier than the regular scheduled payday. So that might be an incentive to bring in more customers. Other things that you're looking at, for instance, is them being added to the ETF weekly dividend, WKLY. Also partnering with Coursera to launch the fundamentals of personal finance. If you haven't heard about Coursera, I do recommend you go watch it. It's not paid promotion whatsoever. I do like Coursera. It's basically a platform where you can learn a lot, or can quote unquote audit a lot of these courses that are usually university level, or anything about anything really. You want to know more about finance, technical analysis, economics, etc., engineering, mathematics, you can find a lot on there. And that almost turned like a promotion for Coursera, but I promise you, I'm not paid by them. I wish I was at some point, but in a sense, they are really good in what they offer. Now, SoFi launches auto loan refinancing through Lantern, and they break down the barriers to offer members early access to IPOs. Usually some IPOs, you would notice that a lot of people are able to get into IPOs that are very exclusive through being, let's say, at a higher standard, like let's say CFOs and fintechs, etc. And the general public can't do that. And you go towards a SPAC and you see that they're raising the SPAC, the current SPAC price, or the current, let's say, ticker is at $30, but they're getting it at $10. So that's where that's coming from. Now, before even moving on forward, in terms of their leadership, Anthony Noto as their CEO, Chief Executive Officer. So who is this person? So a quick Google search will give you this Variety 500 page, and you're able to see that in terms of his career, he had Twitter, NFL, and Goldman Sachs. Education is United States Military Academy and the University of Pennsylvania. Now for this guy, he is working as the COO of Twitter. So while ongoing struggles with Twitter has led to a mass executive exodus for the still potent social platform, Anthony Noto has provided crucial leadership as a CEO. Jack Dorsey divides his focus over at Square as well. The exit of another Twitter legend, Adam Bain, made Noto the man in command, with the incentive of $12 million stock package in hand. And the CFO extended his oversight to partnership, business development, global advertising, sales, and data revenue and products. Noto has been the driver of what may be Twitter's only current bright spot. a growing roster of live streaming deals for games from a variety of sports, and a slate of other live non-sports programming. His team has worked diligently to restock after losing to Amazon a $10 million package for 10 Thursday night football games he scored from the NFL, which he used to be the CFO. A former football player and Goldman Sachs banker where he landed the Twitter's IPO himself, Noto has also struck similar deals with PGA Tour, NHL, Pac-12, E-Legend. Next up for Noto is figuring out the new way to monetize beyond advertising, such through TweetDeck platforms the company acquired in 2012. E-commerce is another potential area he's exploring, but he still has thorny issues to deal with, such as stimulating the platform's long-suffering user growth. But by mid-2017, Noto was able to tout $2 billion in ad revenues and 4 consecutive quarters of subscribers growth, only to see that streak snap in July. Now, this person is the same person we're talking about, relating towards the CEO, Anthony Noto. So you get to see the CEO. It has a lot of experience. We can go back and forth to every single person here, but I thought that the CEO was more interesting than others to explore a bit. Now, in terms of SEC filings, the use of the proceeds is coming in around $11.50 per share, and public warrants, for SCH warrants and public warrants, and $8.86 per share, subject to adjustments as described herein. And they said they will receive an aggregate price of approximately $431 million from the exercise of the warrants and $166 million from the exercise of stock options. We expect to use the net proceeds from the exercise of the warrants and stock options for the general corporate process. And we get to see, so there's a lot of money that is going to go on to balance whatever debts, etc., cash, whatever they do with it. They will for sure announce it in SEC filings, or at least we're able to see it in quarterly filings at the end. In terms of institutional buyers, generally bullish, but it's a little bit mixed. Looking back into May, Citadel advisors appear to have liquidated, but it's honestly a mixed thing going on. People selling, people buying in terms of institutional buyers. The latest selling is from Advisor Net Financial Incorporations, and that was announced today on the 7th or 6th of July, my bad. And in terms of insiders, we don't actually have a lot to talk about in this sense. And moving on from there, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure on the bottom right corner, click that subscribe button and the bell notification button on. Don't forget to leave a like for this video, and if you would like to join our Discord that is totally free and you can give suggestions for stocks, etc., just chat up, it's in the description below. Now, one last thing before going towards technical analysis, a very interesting thing relating towards the price over book. The price over book here, I'm assuming it's accurate, is sitting at 294. If we were to compare the SP 500 price over book value, you're seeing that one to be around 468. Which is almost at, well, I would say double or a bit less than a double of the price over book from SoFi. At least 50% increase from there. So maybe the price point can be even around $24 before it can even kind of match the price over book with the SP 500. Some people say, hey, you can't compare them, but in my opinion, at least you're able to see what the general market, the SP 500 price over book is looking like. So let's move on towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint of view, what we actually start to see here is that the moving average is 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA and the price point is below the 50 SMA. Now, these moving averages tend to tell you about the historical price movement and how they compare to now. And so they're a bit bearish because they've been declining for the last bit. But the rest of it really just doesn't tell you much more other than it on the ADX being sloppy in terms of movement. The William % R shows it's highly oversold, which means a lot of people are selling than buying. And the MACD seems to not have much strength or momentum, and it looks like the general move on the moving averages is a bit downwards. Now, this is not necessarily bad news. SPACs usually tend to be a little bit turbulent after they kind of go through the merger. It's not a bad company in my opinion. And for this, let's take a look into the Fibonacci retracements, get an understanding where the supports and resistances are before moving on towards the analyst recommendations. So the current resistance level on the Fibonacci retracements, and I'm again using this one because high frequency traders do. 1917 on the resistance level, 2038, 2136, 2233, 2372, and 2549. The support level here is sitting at 1722. Now, if we were to go ahead and start drawing some price line actions for supports and resistances, the current support appears to be at the 1729. And that seems to be the only support kind of this level, at least from how long the chart I have. In terms of the resistance, we're seeing a strong resistance at the 1796 level. Above there, 1823, 1852 above that, 1899, 1947, going up to 1981, going up to 2085, 2136, 2182, going a little bit upwards to 2242, 2299, and then upwards to 2332, 2341, $24, and then 2474, and then upwards to 2549. And then before going on to what I think about this one, let's take a look into the analyst recommendations. And the analysts here give you a general, based on 2 analyst recommendations in the last 3 months, as a moderate buy, which is 2 buy, 0 hold, 0 sell. The average price target onto this one is $27.50, which is currently a 58.68% upside. The higher average or higher price target average is around $30. The lower price target is around $25. That's 65.93 and 38.27% respectively. Now there's 2 different people or analysts that recommended this one. The person with the price target of 30 has a success rate of around 62% with an average return of 9%. This person here, Dominic Gabriel, initiated coverage at $25 in terms of price target. Again, both of them are buy. This person's success rate is 66%, 75 out of 114 recommendation had positive returns, with an average return of around 18%. So this gives you a bit of an idea on who these people who are giving these analysts are. Now comes to my opinion. I definitely think that this is a very interesting buy. I'm waiting for an accumulation period in order to go ahead and pick some. Now, my own intentions at the start wasn't to buy some. Currently at this level, it's a little bit scary with this drop. I'm waiting a bit for an accumulation. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.